We left off last episode with the White Sox only being a half game behind the Twins for the American League Central Division title, and we have a huge lead in the wild card. 3 teams down here trying to catch up to the Royals and Guardians. We have a 7-game lead over the Royals, 9-game lead over the Guardians. So it's, unless we absolutely collapse in the last month and a half, we are going to make the playoffs, which is absolutely outstanding. Looks like we would play whichever one of these teams finishes second, and then the other one would go play a division winner. So depending on how this last month plays out, we could play any of these 5 teams in the first round of the playoffs. So let's get into this and see how this last month and a half of the season plays out. All right, we're going to hop into our first gameplay here. We have a critical situation where we're losing by 2 in the bottom of the 8th. We have the bases loaded. Sean Cannoni's up, 6-4 game, 1 out. So let's hop in here and see what happens. All right, Sean, let's see what we can do here. He's 0 for 3 on the night. You see he's hitting .260 on the season. Jose Butto on the mound, bases loaded, pitches outside. That's ball 3. You can get a walk here, get it 1 run closer. 3-0 pitch from Butto is inside for ball 4, so he does draw the walk, forces in a run. Caglione scores, makes this a 1-run game here in the 8th. 1 out, just need a sac fly here. Tie this game up. Edgar Caro. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-2 pitch from Butto, and he swings through the fastball and strikes out for strike 3. Doesn't come through in the clutch. Now we have to rely on Roman Anthony. Bases loaded, 2 out, full count, runners off with the pitch. And it's going to be a fly ball into left field. Left fielder's drifting over in the corner, and he's got it. And the Mets pitch around that jam. They would win the game, adding another run. They win 7-5. Garcia the win, Hagen Smith loss, and they take the first game of the series. And for our September call-ups, we're calling Art Rocha back up, even though he hasn't been doing outstanding at AAA, but like the power, like the position flexibility, so we're going to call him back up. And against my better instincts, we're going to call Stephen Kolek back up from AAA. He's been having an outstanding season down there. And we had to promote a bunch of other guys to the lower levels to take up their spots. So Stephen Kolek, Art Rocha, welcome back for the September run. And we'll give you a quick update of where we stand right now as we started the month of September. We swept Houston to start off this episode. Then we lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants, lost 3 out of 4 to the Tigers, swept Texas, and then went into the Mets and lost all 3 games. So kind of up and down. As it says right there, we're 4-6 in our last 10, but we are tied with the Twins for first place in the American League Central, as they're having as rough a time as we are at the moment. So now we have a tie for first place with basically 4 weeks to go. We're going to hop into one of these games against the Orioles because they're contending for a wild card spot, and we could possibly play them in the first round. Cleveland as well. So we'll get some player locks in these 2 series and then see how it stands as we get towards the end of the month and maybe show you something else when we get to there. And happy Labor Day, everybody, from Baltimore as the Sox take on the Baltimore Orioles, who are trying to work their way into a playoff spot. Ricky McCann against Dean Kramer. We are tied for first with the Twins with 24 games left on the season. You can see Baltimore 3 games behind Cleveland for that last playoff spot. Doing our best to fight them off and catch Minnesota for the division. As I said, on the mound, Dean Kramer, 8-9, 3.34 ERA. We're going to player lock in this game, mostly on Edgar Caro, but if there's other guys doing something, we'll hop in just like now. Sean Cannoni's leading off the 3rd. He's going to have foul ball down the right field line. That's going to drift foul. Still full count. Kramer kicks and pitches, and it's going to be a tapper fouls. Cannoni's battling here. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat as Chicago trying to get a man on base, and they will with the walk. So Cannoni's, as we saw in that Mets moment, draws a walk, gets on base, and that's going to bring in Edgar Caro. He's got 16 home runs on the year, trying to get him up to 20 if we can in the last 4 weeks, and that's definitely going to help as Caro hits a no-doubt shot to center field.
You can put it on the board, yes!
17th home run of the season. Now he just needs 3 more in the last 3 weeks to get up to 20. He hammered that one, 434 feet. Edgar supplying a lot of power at the bottom of the lineup this year. That gives Chicago an early 2-0 lead. Now we're going to hop to the top of the fifth. Cannone struck out the lead off the inning. One more bat from Caro, and it's going to be a line shot into left field, so he's going to be 2 for 2. Home run and a single. Sox trying to get more runs here in the middle innings. That'll bring up Art Rocha. Put him in the lineup to give Villa a day off. Try and get Rocha's bat going here. 1-1 pitch is off the plate for ball 2. Rocha's given us a lot of power over the last 3 seasons, but he's really struggled this year. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's going to be a tapper to third. Throw to second for 1, over to first, and they wipe out the base runner, and the Sox score nothing here in the 5th inning. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. Ricky McCann Rolling's only giving up 1 hit and 1 walk, and then there'll be his second hit allowed. That's a smash to center by Kjerstad. McCann, 9 Ks, 1 hit and 1 walk up to that point, so got a man on, nobody out. Jordan Westberg up, and he's going to hit a ground ball past the shortstop into left field. So now Baltimore got their first 2 runners on. That brings up the go-ahead run, and Jackson Holliday. McCann's got some work to do here. Been cruising along for 6 innings. This is pitch 101. 2-1 pitch to Holliday. And just like that, the Orioles have the lead. My goodness. Ricky McCann just gave up an absolute nuke to Jackson Holliday. And the Sox fall behind 3-2 after dominating for 6 innings, up 2-0. Hit that 420. There you go, Jimmy. Jackson Holliday doing damage. Now we go to the 9th. Jack Caglione up. The first 2 guys struck out, and Alex Vesia gets the hat trick with 3 Ks in the 9th inning as the Orioles win this 3-2 win. All the runs scored on 2 separate home runs as John King gets the win. McCann takes the tough luck loss, and Vesia gets his 30th save. Let's take a look at this box score. See 2 hits for Caro, 1 hit for Anthony. That's all we had. 2-run shot by Caro supplied all our offense. McCann, excellent for 6 innings, just blew apart in the 7th. Bullpen did an okay job, but the damage was already done. Look at their side. Westberg, 2 hits. Holliday, the 3-run blast. That's all they needed. Kramer was out after 4, and then their bullpen shut us down. Only allowed 1 hit over the last 5 innings, and the Sox lose 3-2. And the Sox would go on to lose 2 out of 3 to Baltimore in that series, but they would follow it up by beating the Red Sox 2 out of 3 and sweeping Cleveland, which puts them in first place, a half game ahead of the Twins. I want to show you some stats real quick. Nothing too in-depth, but Jack Caglione, 32 home runs, 93 RBIs, hitting .303, got a .913 OPS. We have 5 guys with 20 home runs. If Caro can get 2 more, that'll give us 6. And on the opposite side of that, we have 4 guys with 120 strikeouts, 5, 6, 7 guys with 100 strikeouts. And if Caro strikes out 7 more times, we'll have 8 guys with 100 strikeouts. My goodness. We have another situation here, bottom of the 9th, 1 out. A's are leading the Sox 5-4 in the 9th. Edgar Caro at second, Mason Miller on the mound. Roman Anthony trying to tie this game up. So let's hop in here and see what's going on. There's Roman. Sox are going for the sweep in the series here. Tough task, though, facing A's closer, Mason Miller. You got man on second, 1 out. 3-1 count to Roman. Here's the pitch, and that's low, very low for ball 4. So Chicago's going to have 2 men on. They're going to have the tying and go-ahead runners on. Alvin Maddox coming up. He's 4 for 12 in the series, 2 for 4 in the game. Need a clutch hit here. 2-1 pitch, and it's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Shallow center field in the grass, infield fly. Batter's automatically out, and there's 2 down. That'll bring in Colson Montgomery. Already hit a home run in this game. Hoping for another one here. Would love to see a walk-off win. 0-1 pitch from Miller, and it's going to be a tapper to second. Easy scoop. Throw to first, and the A's hang on to win. Salvage the 3rd game of the series. The Sox couldn't quite get that tying run across. Martin with the win. Cavalli with the loss. Mason Miller's 36th save as the Sox do win the series 2-1. Let's take a look at this box score. 2 hits for Schumann, 2 hits for White, 2 for Elliott. Home run by Schumann, White, and Elliott. Our side, 2 hits for Maddox, 3 for Caglione, 2 for Watley, 2 for Caro. Jack hit 2 home runs. Colson hit a home run. Cavalli, 4 runs in 4 innings. Bullpen pretty much did their job. We just didn't get a hit at the very end. And after we dropped that game to Oakland to prevent us from getting a sweep, we turned around and swept the Angels in 3, swept the Padres in 3. I want to show you something here. Padres game, Jack, 3 for 5, hits 2 home runs. Saturday game, Edgar Caro, 3 for 4, with a single, a double, a home run, and 6 RBI. That puts him at 19 home runs now. And then on Sunday, Colson Montgomery, 3 for 5 with 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. Anthony and Villa also with home runs. As we are just pounding our way into the playoffs, sitting at 93-63, 6 games to go, and a 1-game lead over the Twins. This is going down to the very last day. And after that Padres sweep, the Sox turned around and got swept on the road against the Angels. The only good thing about that, if you can think anything's good about being swept, is the Marlins swept Minnesota. So they didn't gain any ground. We didn't lose any ground. And now we have this big 3-game series against Detroit. We started the season against them. Now we're going to finish the regular season against them. We go to Detroit, and Minnesota is going to host Baltimore. That's going to be a very tough series for them. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sim this game to let us know whether they win or lose, because we beat Minnesota head-to-head 7 out of 13 games. So 7 wins, 6 losses. So we own the head-to-head tiebreaker. So if they lose and we win this first game of this last 3-game series, we clinch first place. If they win and we win, we'll go to the next day. I'll sim their game and we'll get into ours. So we're going to go through this series game by game. And hopefully we can get a division win. If not, then we'll be the number 1 wild card seed. And I want to show you this real quick. We have the best record in the American League. So whoever wins the division is going to have home field advantage throughout the rest of the American League playoffs. Over in the National League, Pirates, if they sweep out, they'll get 100 wins. But both teams have clinched a playoff spot, so we will be in the playoffs. It's just, are we going to win the division and skip the wild card, or are we going to have to play an extra round? So let's get into this last series of the regular season and see if we can take home a division championship. All right, game 1, Baltimore at Minnesota. Simeon Woods Richardson against Trey Gibson. And Minnesota wins 4-3. So the Sox have to win to stay in first place. And we're going to quick manage our games as we go through. If it gets to a deciding game, I will show the gameplay from that. So let's get in here and see if we can keep this a 1-run division lead in game 1 against Detroit. All right, you got Cade Cavalli against Bailey Falter. Alvin Maddox leading off. Grounds out. Montgomery walks. Watley, fielder's choice. Still got 1 on, 2 out. Jack walks. 2 on, 2 out. Caro looking for that 19th home run to give us another 20 home run man. And he flies out. So bottom of the first, McGonigal singles, Lux double play, solo homer. Colt Keith gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead, and Suzuki strikes out. Second inning, Anthony singles, Canones forces him, Gage flies out, and Villa flies out. Bottom of the second, Young grounds out, Sajaci grounds out, Friedel singles, Dingler grounds out. Back to the top of the order for the third. Maddox ties it with a solo homer. There we go. Monty walks. Watley walks. Come on, Jack. Flies out. Caro singles, drives in a go-ahead run. Anthony walks. We have the bases loaded, 1 out. Come on, Sean. Sack fly gets another run, 3-1. And Gage strikes out. So Sox battle back and get 3. Varsho pops out. McGonigal flies out. Lux doubles. Keith hits a 2-run homer to tie the game. My goodness. All right, top of the 4th inning. Villa pops out. Maddox doubles. Monty strikes out. And Watley flies out. Young grounds out to start the bottom of the 4th. Strikeout of Sajaci. Friedel homers. Come on, Cavalli. That's 3 home runs, dude. And we go to the top of the 5th, trailing 4-3. Jack strikes out. Caro strikes out. Anthony strikes out. Not good. Varsho, ground out. McGonigal, ground out. Lux triples. Keith hits a 2-run homer. That's 4 home runs in 5 innings. All right, he's done. And let's bring in Patino because we're losing. He walks Suzuki, and we get a strikeout. So now we're down 6-3. They're going to bring in a new pitcher, Ryan Weathers. Canones walks. Gage strikes out. Villa flies out. And Maddox flies out. Bottom of 6. Got to hold him. Nope. Triple by Sajaci. Walk. Pop out. Can we get a double play? Stolen base. How about a strikeout? Sack fly. Down 4 now. Not looking good. Go to the 7th inning. Trailing by 4. Fly out. Single. And a double play. Let's go to the bullpen here. Get a new pitcher. And I'm going to bring in Jose Hernandez. Walk. Double. Keith's got 3 extra base hits in this game. Pop out. Ground out. They don't score. Walk. Loads the bases. And the fly out gets out of the jam. So we go to the 8th inning. Caro strikes out. Anthony strikes out. Canones grounds out. Get a walk. Stolen base. Ground out. Ground out. Pop out. All right, go to the 9th inning. Down 4. Huge comeback. Let's go. Gage grounds out. Villa grounds out. Maddox final out. And we lose it as Colt Keith goes 4 for 4 with a double and 3 home runs. I didn't realize he had 3 home runs. My goodness. Look at this box score real quick. Yeah, 4 for 4. A double and 3 home runs. I knew he had 2. I must have missed one in there. Anyway, doesn't matter. We lose, and now we have a tie with 2 days to go. So just remember, if we tie with Minnesota, we hold the tiebreaker. All right, Saturday, next to last day of the season. Pablo Lopez against Grayson Rodriguez. And Baltimore wins 4-3. Let's go. Let's go. Sox win. That's going to give them a no worse than a tie, and that's going to clinch the division. So now we have this Hagen Smith, Dylan Cease rematch from opening day. We're going to hop in here and quick manage. And if we get to the 9th inning and we're winning, we'll watch and hopefully see the final out to clinch the division title. All right, top of the 1st. Anthony against Dylan Cease. Ground out. Maddox. Strikeout. Monty. Walks. Come on, Jack. Nope. Struck him out. Go to the bottom half. Get a fly out. A ground out. And we got Keith out finally. Wiley reaches on an error. Walk by Gage. Villa strikes out. Canones strikes out. Come on, Edgar. Single. There we go. 1-0 lead. Double by Anthony. Drives in 2 more. So it's 3-0. And a pop out ends the inning. All right, Hagen. Ground out. Ground out. Strikeout. All right, top of the 3rd. Strikeout by Monty. Jack walks. Watley flies out. And Gage strikes out. Bottom of the inning. Perniak grounds out. Hey, he used to play for us. I don't know when they picked him up. Miller strikes out. Single by Crouch. That's their first hit of the game. McGonigal singles. And Lux grounds out. So go to the 4th. 3-0 Chicago. Villa grounds out. Canones singles. Caro, there we go. 2-run homer. That's number 20 on the season. Anthony grounds out. Maddox doubles. New pitcher Kyle Bradish. And Montgomery grounds out. 5-0 heading to the bottom of the 4th. Single by Keith. Strikeout of Young. Steals 2nd. Sajaci strikes out. And Varsho strikes out. So he strikes out the side after the leadoff single. Jack flies out. Watley singles. Gage singles. Via fielder's choice. At the corners. 2 down. And Canones flies out. So bottom of the 5th. Perniak strikes out. Miller strikes out. Crouch flies out. Carroll leading off. Big home run last at bat. He singles. He's 3 for 3. Anthony with a 2-run shot. It's 7-0 Chicago. Maddox doubles. Monty grounds out. Jack grounds out. And Watley lines out. Huge lead. 7-0 going to the bottom of the 6th. Pop out. Pop out. Single. And strikeout. Head to the top of the 7th. Gage singles. Via walks. New pitcher Reed Detmers. Canones singles. It's 8-0. Caro flies out. Anthony walks to load the bases. Maddox walks to make it 9-0. Monty singles home. It's 10-0. And Jack grounds out. 10-0 leads. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Sajaci strikes out. Varsho strikes or flies out, and Koperniak strikes out. So we go to the 8th. Watley singles, Gage singles. Man, our bats are on fire this game. Villa flies out, and Quinones hits into a double play. So bottom of the 8th, it's 10-0 lead. Hagen Smith only allowed 4 hits. There's a single, strikeout, single, 3-run homer, makes it 10-3. All right, he's done. Bring in a new pitcher. Let's bring in Harris. Gets Keith the ground out. Young singles. So JC grounds out. So it's 10-3 as we head to the top of the 9th. Carroll strikes out. Anthony strikes out. And Maddox strikes out. So 10-3 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. And we're not going to mess around. We're going to go straight to our closer. I know it's not a safe situation, but he's our best pitcher. All right, so leadoff batter Varsho. Singles. Koperniak strikes out. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Miller singles. 2 on and 1 out. Crouch lines out. We got 1 more out to go. McGonigal. And that's it. The Sox win. Sox win. Sox win. Check out this box score. 2 hits for Anthony, 4 RBI, 2 for Maddox, 2 for Watley, 3 for Gage, 2 for Quinones, 3 for Caro. Maddox and Anthony with doubles. Maddox had 2. Anthony and Caro with home runs. Hagen Smith pitched outstanding till he gave up that 3-run homer in the bottom of the 8th. So 3 runs, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, moves to 15-3 on the season. And it says we have not clinched the division. I assume that we will on a tiebreaker, but let's go ahead and win this last game of the regular season. Maybe the Twins will lose and it won't matter. All right, Casey Mize against Cole Reagans. Wow, Reagans is on Baltimore. And the Orioles win 4-2. The Sox win the division. There we go, boys. There we go. That loss by the Twins gives us not only division title, but it gives us the best record in the American League no matter what we do. So let's quick manage this game. Watch Anthony Medrano try and win his 14th game of the season against Jackson Jobe. And we're going to give several guys a day off. Give Villa a rest at first base. We're going to give Jack the day off, Caro the day off, Maddox the day off, and Montgomery the day off. So you can see, unless they come in later in the game, Maddox going to finish with 25 home runs and 44 stolen bases. Edgar Caro going to finish the year with 20 home runs, 83 RBI, which was more than he had in his entire career up to this point, hitting 264. Colson Montgomery's going to finish with 31 home runs and 90 RBI, 10 caught stealing. You got to quit trying to steal with him. And Jack's going to finish with 39 home runs, 104 RBI, hitting 311. It's not worth it to try and get that 40th home run. We want to make sure he doesn't get hurt. All right, Quinones leads off with a single, steals second, ground out by Gage, moves him up to third. Anthony strikes out, and Watley grounds out. Medrano, pitching on the last day of the regular season. It's a pop out, and a ground out. There we go. Rocha grounds out. De La Rosa grounds out. Johnson strikes out. Get a ground out on Suzuki. Ground out by Sweeney. Ground out by Sajasi. Groshans grounds out. A lot of ground outs so far. Brito doubles. There we go. Quinones singles him to third. First and third, 1 out. Gage sac fly makes it 1-0 Chicago. Anthony strikes out the end of the inning. Dingler pops out. Varsho walks. Miller flies out. Meadows fielder's choice. Go to the 4th. Fly out by Watley. Pop out by Rocha. Ground out by De La Rosa. Young walks. Keith pops out. Suzuki singles. That's their first hit. Men at the corners and 1 out. Sweeney hits a 3-run homer. Wonderful. JC grounds out and Dingler grounds out. Got to quit giving up 3-run homers by our starting pitchers. Johnson reaches on an error. Groshans doubles him to third. Brito walks. Bases are loaded for Quinones. Single drives home 2. It's tied. Gage flies out. Anthony flies out. Watley flies out. Battle back and tie it. Bottom of the inning. Strikeout. Single. Fielder's choice. Walk. Fielder's choice. We dodged a bullet there. Go to the 6th. Fly out. Ground out. And a fly out. Bottom of 6. Single. Single. And they bring in Rodney North. Good choice. Single. And it's 4-3. Fly out. Pop out. and a fly out. So he give up one. Could have been a lot worse than that. And you bring in Alex Fado. Groshans walks. Brito pops out. Quinones with a 2-run shot. The Sox take the lead. New pitcher for Gage, and he grounds out. Anthony flies out. Go to the bottom of the 7th. 5-4 Chicago. Ben Harris coming in. Gives up a double. Strikeout. Walk. Single. Bases are loaded. Fielder's choice. They don't score. Bo Brisky coming in now. Bases loaded. 2 out. Single. Makes it 5-5. Dingler with a grand slam. My goodness, what is with the home runs we're giving up to these guys today? Varsho strikes out. My God. Watley singles. Rocha double play. De La Rosa lines out. Ground out. Single. Double play. Go to the 9th. Johnson walks. Groshans strikes out. Brito strikes out. Quinones walks. New pitcher for Gage. He singles. Bases are loaded. Roman Anthony. Let's go watch this. All right, bases loaded. 2 out. 1-2 count. Pitch to Anthony. And it's gone. It's a grand slam. We just tied the game with 2 outs in the 9th. Roman Anthony, are you kidding me?
You can put it on the board. Yes.
Roman Anthony, my goodness, that's why we traded for you at the start of this whole franchise. In the very last regular season game, he goes yard on the big fly with the bases loaded to tie this game. My goodness. Let's check out this replay. Belt high, he got all of that one and he knew it right away. Just sets the bat down. And that was hammered 421 into the right field stands. And that's going to bring up Dexter Watley now with the bases empty and 2 out. Sox have just been hammering the ball all over the place all this season, especially this last month and a half, 2 months. We've just been hammering home runs right and left. And Watley's going to hit a fly ball into deep center field, drifting back to the track, to the wall, and it's gone off the top of the wall. Are you kidding me?
You can put it on the board. Yes.
Back-to-back homers in the 9th. We had the bases loaded in 2 outs and 2 strikes. Anthony hits the grand slam. Watley hits the solo shot, and the Sox come from behind in the 9th to take the lead. Oh my goodness. What a finish to this regular season. He just went down and got it, and the ball just kept carrying. Look and see the flags. The wind is blowing out to right, and it hit the top of the wall and goes out. And now they're going to have to go to a new pitcher as they're down 10-9. All right, Sox give up 5 in the bottom of the 7th and rally back for 5 in the top of the 9th. 2 home runs with 2 strikes each. Cole Keith leading off for Detroit. Garrett Lewis coming in. Strikes him out. Suzuki singles. Let's go watch this. Got a man on, 1 out. 2-1 count to Sweeney. See, he's 2 for 4 in the game. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to short. Brito's got it on to second over the first, and just like that, the Sox win. What an amazing comeback in game 162. These guys are incredible. Wow. Medrano does not get the win, but the Sox do. 10-9 with a huge 9th inning. Miguel Rodriguez wins his 8th game in relief. Garrett Lewis gets his 50th save as the Sox win the series 2-1. Win the AL Central Division. Multiple guys with 20 home runs and the best pitching staff in baseball. Let's check out this box score. Sean Quinones 4 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Roman Anthony's only hit was a grand slam. Watley 2 for 5 with a solo shot that won the game. Medrano, 4 runs in 5 innings. Ben Harris gives up 3. Brisky gives up 2. But they come through big in the 9th inning, and our relievers do the job in the 8th and 9th as the Sox win 10-9 in a thriller in game 162. And we have a few league leaders on this incredible season. Hagen Smith, for the 2nd year in a row, led the major leagues with 239 strikeouts. He had a 6.9 pitching WAR. And on the award side, Hagen Smith wins the Cy Young. Are you kidding me? Wow, what a finish to his season. Jack wins the Rookie of the Year for the 2nd time. That's not possible. That's a glitch in this system. I don't know why, but whoever finished 2nd is the one who won that. You can see Judge wins the American League MVP. National League goes to Juan Soto with the Marlins. Hagen Smith, 15-10, 3.34 ERA, 239 strikeouts, gets the Cy Young. 183 hits in 196 innings, only allowed 13 home runs. He cut his home runs in half. Wow. Yeah, and his home runs per 9 went up 7 because of that. Goodness sakes, Hagen Smith. National League, Paul Skeens. There you go. Judge batting title. Victor Robles wins it in the National League. Ron Marinaccio wins the reliever of the year, even though Stefan had 51 saves, Lewis had 50. Marinaccio with a 1.28 ERA gets it in the American League. Aaron Ashby in the National League. So Tommy White of the A's was the real American League Rookie of the Year. Robbie Snelling wins it on the National League side. Yordan Alvarez wins the Hank Aaron Award in the American League. Bryce Harper in the National League. See if we got any Gold Glovers here. Caro finished 2nd at catcher. And Roman Anthony gets a Gold Glove in center field. There we go, 20 assists. Silver Slugger. Montgomery finished his 2nd. I mean, Bobby Witt hit 39 home runs, so. And that's it. All right. Let's check out these player stats. Jack led the team with 187 hits, 39 home runs, 104 RBI, 311 average, 946 OPS, and 36 doubles as well. Anthony finished 2nd, hitting 258, 28 home runs, 70 RBI, 14 steals. Monty, 31 and 90, 271. Watley at 25, 82 with 14 steals, hitting 254. Canones, 13 home runs, 57 RBI, 14 steals, 265. Thought he hit a lot higher than that with that contact. Alvin Maddox, 25 home runs, 50 RBIs. That's a lot of solo homers. 44 stolen bases, though. 263 via disappointing rookie year. Thought he'd do better than that. Caro, though, came out of nowhere. 20 home runs, 83 RBI, 264. De La Rosa dropped back. Gage, not too bad for the time that he had. Jordan Groshans played way better than I expected. Pitching side, Ricky McCann, 206 innings pitched. Medrano, 204. 15 wins for McCann, 15 for Hagen Smith. All of our guys had at least 12 wins. Medrano and McCann lower than 3 ERA. Everybody's whips were relatively low. All those strikeouts from Hagen Smith. Bullpen, Ben Harris, that was a Rule 5 pick. Gotta love that. Rodney North, that was a waiver acquisition right at the end of spring training. Another great performance. Brisky, he was a Rule 5 a couple of years back. Miguel Rodriguez was a draft pick of ours, came straight to the majors. Look at that, 250 ERA, below 1 whip. Jose Hernandez, nice season for the veteran. Patino, not bad. He bounced back. And then our closer, Garrett Lewis, 50 saves, 243 ERA, 1 whip. That's back-to-back seasons with 50 saves to start his career. Got to love that. Take a look at the league leaders. See if we have anybody else near the top. Caglione finished 5th in hits. Jack finished tied for 3rd in home runs. 4th in RBI. Maddox 2nd in steals. Caglione 6th in on base. Jack 6th in on base. 2nd in slugging. 3rd in OPS. Hagen Smith, Ricky McCann, 15 wins, tied for second behind Grayson. Medrano, only 5 losses, leads the league, tied with Joe Ryan. Again, Garrett Lewis, 1 save shy of tying for the league lead again. Medrano, second in ERA. McCann finished 4th. Hagen Smith, fewest home runs allowed. Never would have believed that going into the season. McCann finished 2nd. Garcia with 2 shutouts. And Hagen Smith with the big strikeouts. McCann, 3 complete games. Smith, 8th in whip. 1st in pitching WAR. And let's look at this playoff bracket. Minnesota and Kansas City both made it as wild card, and they will play. The winner of that series will play us. Angels and Yankees, the winner gets to play Baltimore. On the other side, Washington and Miami, 2 teams not expecting to see in the playoffs. They're going to, whoever wins that's going to take on Pittsburgh, who is the number 1 record in all of baseball this year. The Giants and Reds are going to play to see who can play the Mets. So very, very interesting that we're going to have a division rival in the first round of the playoffs in the ALDS. And how we're going to handle the playoffs is we're going to play the first 2 games of the series. Since that's a best 3 out of 5, we'll play the first 2 games. And if we are up 2-0 or down 2-0, then we'll do individual games the rest of the series. If it's split, then we'll go to games 3 and 4. And those 2 games will be in their own episode. And then every elimination game will be by itself. So you don't have to know by the time of the video if the series is over or not. So we won't give it away that way. But what a season for the Sox. Unbelievable. 95 wins. And let me look at these team ranks real quick because... All right, Twins had the best batting average in baseball, and we were 7th. Runs, we were 19th. Hits, we were 10th. Didn't have a ton of doubles, 14th. Triples, be shocked if we were in the top 20. Yeah, we're very last in triples, not shocked. Home runs, though, we were tied for 6th. Runs batted in, we're going to be down because we didn't score a ton of runs. 19th. Stolen bases, we were 4th, though. Walks, all the way down here near the bottom, 27th. Strikeouts, we should be very last. No, we're not. Wow. Okay. 18th. Considering all the guys with 100 strikeouts, I'm surprised. Slugging percentage, we're 9th. On base, 11th. Total bases, 13th. How many errors do we have? We were tied for 9th. Not bad. ERA, 1st in all of baseball, 3.09. The next closest was the Pirates at 3.6. That was just an incredible season by our pitching staff. Tied 2nd in shutouts behind Pittsburgh, 1st in saves, 1st in hits allowed, 1st in runs allowed, 1st in earned runs, home runs allowed, walks, and 12th in strikeouts. That was just an amazing season by our pitchers. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed that final regular season episode of the White Sox Draft Only franchise. I was completely shocked by the ending of that last game. And we'll be back very soon with our first playoff game on the channel. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to release a playoff episode every single day until we are eliminated. So stay tuned for that. But if you like the content, please comment, like, subscribe, share it out, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you very soon for the playoffs and the Chicago White Sox Draft Only franchise.